And then I laterally transferred to the original Chatham County Police Department. And then we merged with the City of Savannah Police Department, which became the Savannah Chatham Metropolitan Police Department. And then in 2017, we had demerged and I went back with the Chatham County Police Department.
Now, I don't necessarily want to ask you about every assignment that you held during your career as a police officer.
Yes, sir.
I'm guessing it's probably a lot of different things, correct?
Luckily, I was able to do various things.
Did you have, I guess, any experience as a detective specifically?
Yes, sir. For over 7 years, I was the in detectives, and I was in auto vehicle theft, and then I went to violent crimes. I was in robbery, homicide, and during those 7 years, and I was also for a short period of time in an undercover unit.
Okay. And was that with the Savannah Chatham Metropolitan Police Department? That you
Yes, sir.
did violent crimes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Dealing with robberies and homicides?
Yes, sir.
So you've been a detective before and did it for quite a while?
Yes, sir.
All right. On October 5, 2022, were you working?
Yes, sir, I was.
And what was your position and assignment at that point?
I was the West Side Watch Commander for the Chatham County Police Department.
And who was your immediate subordinate in that role?
At that time, it was Sergeant Bobby Stewart.
Okay, so it goes Sergeant Stewart, and then next up the chain of command is you, Lieutenant Foster.
Yes, sir.
All right. Did you at some point that morning respond to 535 Buckhalter in response to a missing child call?
Yes, sir.
Now, you were not the first on scene, were you?
No, it was not.
Who else was there at the time that you got there? And I'm not asking for names, just broadly speaking, who was there?
This part of the trial is kind of boring.
What was going on?
The initial officer was there, which again, I'm not sure which one it was. I'd have to go back and look. But Sergeant Stewart was already on scene. And when I got there, he started briefing me on what he had already initially found out.
Okay. So you show up and you get briefed by Sergeant Stewart. At that point, do you become the senior man on scene, the on-scene commander?
At that time, yes, sir.
Okay. And did you, the story that was given initially was that the defendant had woken up at around 9 and the front door was open, right?
That was what I was initially told, yes, sir.
Did you take a look at that door?
I did.
Can you tell us what you remember about that door, if anything?
I remember actually checking the function of the door and actually opening it and closing it. And I realized that it wasn't something that was easily open, and it wasn't necessarily a door that was quiet per se. When you open it, it made noises.
Are you describing like kind of a sticky door that you have to pull hard to open?
It required a little bit
Hard to open, whatever the case may be.
Yes, sir. It required a little bit of force.
Did you have any contact with Detective Kiana Robbins? Well, not necessarily at the scene, but while you were at the scene, did you have some form of contact with her?
Yes, sir. If I remember correctly, I got a phone call from her. And while I was trying to assess everything and trying to allocate resources to potentially figure out what happened, I got a call, at which time she told me that the defendant's vehicle was seen on the flock camera the night before, going down Ageechee Road and then coming back down Ageechee Road.
Now, did you do anything with that information once you had it?
Yes. Once I found that out, because I think when Sergeant Stewart briefly told me they had said that they had went to bed at a certain time the night before, I went back to her because then just kind of got a little feeling. So I went back and I asked her, I said, at any point did you ever leave the house for any reason? And then she told me no twice. She said, no, never left. I said, okay. I said, could it maybe you went somewhere or anything? She said, no. So once she told me no, that kind of threw up another flag for me. I became concerned about that. And I remember talking to her in the backyard or back porch area. And I asked her, I said, could anyone, you sure you didn't leave the house? And then she said, oh, wait, I do remember I went up, I don't recall the address. It's the convenience store